Hi everybody, today I want to tell you about our new class, Amazon Listings Demystified. Now this class is unlike any other listing class that I've seen out there. And the reason is that it's been developed by one of our sellers, Alex Howard, who is a very successful seller. And he started studying programming, and he realized that most of the listing education that was out there was sort of based on guesses about how the Amazon algorithm reads listings, but very few is actually based on actual testing. And so he took months and months and months to meticulously test and figure out exactly how Amazon listings worked. And he and I have worked together to create this training for you so that you can learn the same exact thing. So let me show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. So first I want to explain to you a concept called indexing. Indexing is something I never heard of when I first started selling on Amazon. But basically, indexing is the process, the descriptor for when words register with Amazon. So you might write words in a listing and then you search for those words with the listing and they don't come up and you don't know why. It's because they're not indexed. So what we have figured out is how to control and know exactly which words you write into the listing that are going to index both together and in phrases. And they don't even need to be next to each other, which is the amazing thing. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I have just an Amazon window pulled up here, and this is an ASIN that I created just for the class. So you can see here, it's actually a toy that's sold on Amazon for like $15. But here you go. So I went ahead and created this listing. And the way that you can test indexing for a product, and this works for any product, is you put in the ASIN and then you put in the word that you want to test for. So for this dump truck, I put the ASIN in and I put in the words Father's Day. And as you can see, it said 0 results for Father's Day. So it's telling me that my dump truck does not index for the words Father's Day, which is fine. I didn't really want it to, but I wanted to show you an example of what it looks like when something does not index for a particular word or phrase, in this case, the phrase Father's Day. So let's go ahead and look at some words that do index. So boy's gift indexes. Now, if you read the listing, you'll see that the word boy and gift do not actually appear next to each other in the listing. They're in totally different places, but they index as a phrase because of the technology, or not really, the technique that we've learned that we're going to teach you in this class. Here we have another one I threw in just for fun, which is squid ink. So this, if you put in the ASIN and squid ink, it indexes for squid ink. I just wanted to do that because I wanted you to see how you have complete control over which words index in your listing. The word, again, the word ink is actually in the keyword field, and the word squid is in a totally different place. So they're not next to each other at all, but they still index together as a phrase because I use this technique that Alex has figured out. And here's another one I did with boys squid. Again, I put the word squid in there so you could kind of see how this works. And sandbox. So I would want this to index for a good sandbox toy, which it is. So you can see that I can control, again, and these are it's a 3-word phrase. These 3 words do not appear next to each other in the listing, but they are indexing as a phrase. And we even have, because I'm very much of a gender, let's not enforce gender identity on children, so I have a girl's birthday gift, and it comes up for that indexed. Again, girl's birthday gift, they're not next to each other at all in the listing, but they index as a phrase. So this is the type of thing, this is exactly the thing we're going to teach you in this class. How do you learn how to write listings and then control exactly which words index as single words and as phrases, and where do things like duplication just break the whole thing? So there's times when you can duplicate words and it just doesn't matter. And there's other times where if you duplicate, it breaks it. And the whole thing with the phrasing and the single words, it doesn't work anymore. Now, for those of you who've never written listings before, a little of this may seem advanced. So we've actually added a whole section into the class that's just a primer on how to create listings. For those of you who have created listings, you can skip ahead of that and just go straight to the meat and potatoes of how to do this technique so that you control exactly which words and phrases index. Now, there is a difference between index and rank, which we will discuss in the course. You're not guaranteed to rank for every phrase that you index for, but you absolutely cannot rank for anything that you're not indexing for. So go into some of your listings that you've created, or even other listings that you haven't created, put the ASIN in and put some words in and just test and see what's indexing. You're going to be surprised at some listings that words that you should think that they would definitely index for, they don't, because lots and lots and lots of people have no idea how to do this. We are going to show you how to create a listing that you have complete control over every single word and phrase it indexes. We have a Chrome extension that comes free with the class, which will double check your work to make sure you didn't make any mistakes. We're going to show you how to handle listings with multiple sellers, how to do variations, and even to know which categories are exceptions to the rule. So as with all of Amazon, there's no one rule to, to guide everything. So through meticulous testing, again, we've determined that certain categories things work and certain categories they don't work. And so we'll show you what those are and the workarounds we've come up with. And all of this, the goal of all of this is to improve your sales. We have seen an increase in sales, radical increase of sales, just from rewriting current listings. New listings that are bundles or whatever you're selling have just taken off with little to no advertising because they're getting found for what they actually are. So this class is amazing. I hope you guys get a lot of value out of it. I will warn you in advance that you should commit to not just watching the class, but practicing. I suggest you budget at least 2 to 3 hours to watch all the content of the class. And then you budget another probably 2 to 5 hours to practice. The first time I wrote a listing using this new technique, it was hard. Even though I've written many, many successful listings before, it was really hard. But now I've gotten the hang of it, it's not so hard. So what comes with the class? You get 5 video modules that explain everything in detail, including one basic listing module. So for those of you who just either want to review or have never written a listing before, it goes into the exact beginning to end of how to write a listing. And then we have the advanced modules, which get right into this technology and this technique and how you can use it. This is not a trick, by the way. This is simply us figuring out how Amazon is reading the listings and then writing listings to work with that system. So there's no trick. We're not gaming Amazon. We're not keyword loading. We're not bloating your listing full of a bunch of junk. We're not doing any of those things. We're not guessing. There's so much guessing that goes on in listing writing classes. I mean, I've heard things where they tell you to write the phrases 6 different ways just to make sure that that way is read by the search. You don't have to do that. That is not true. You don't even have to write the phrase at all. As long as the words are in there in the right way, even if they're in totally separate places, Amazon will read it as a phrase just on its own. And you don't have to be a PhD in English to write a good listing. So you're going to get the 5 video modules. Each module has me explaining it and a PowerPoint that goes with the module. You will get a copy of the PowerPoint for you to download and look at on your own. You will also get a resource document which has all the links and notes from the class in one easy place for you to refer to, so you don't have to be furiously writing. Any website we mentioned that is a good referral source or anything like that is all in the resource document. You will also get a template. The template is a Word document that you can use to write your listings in, and it actually breaks it down in the new technique so that you can do it in order and you can keep track of it. So the template comes with the class. There's an extension that you can use to check your work and even give you more information. The extension is normally $4.99 a month. If you just go to Chrome and buy it, it's $4.99 a month. If you get it through the class, it's free for 2018. So, so you get the extension for free, you get the class materials, you get the modules, and you get the Facebook group. So we have a Facebook group dedicated just to this listing, Amazon Listings Demystified class. And we will be doing Facebook Lives in there and other things to answer questions as they come up. This is definitely a very much, you have to implement this technique to make it work. Your listings will not magically rewrite themselves, but if you take the time to take the class and implement, ask questions of stuff you don't understand, get clarification and do it, you will be amazed. We have our 60-day money-back guarantee, just like we do for everything with Scanner Society. So there's really no risk. We do, like I said, I really want you to make sure you commit your time to this. But when you're ready to do that, you will be amazed at the results you'll get. Your sales, well, I had one listing that went from 12 sales in a month to 75 the next month. Overall, Alex's business has seen a more than 50% increase from the same listings. So it's really amazing. And the cool thing is it's all testable. So you can implement stuff, you can test it, you can check it. This isn't us guessing. This is us showing you how this works, showing you how to test it, and doing it. So please sign up today. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.